Okay, Koichi, we're comfortable with that. You're go to proceed.
Okay, copy that.
So Josh, they're saying that, you know, we've got several cameras pointed at the Cygnus, and each of them should show that the Cygnus thinks it's exactly in the same box, but one of them is just a little bit to the left, basically.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that when we say camera, please point yourself at, you know, say 47 degrees, you know, it's 47 plus or minus a little. And that's what leads to the difference in their visual picture. And MCC was saying, hey, we see that and we're comfortable. We think the Cygnus is at the right place.
So again, we're at 14.5 meters. It's going to go up to 10, and that's where it will hold. We'll have another go, no-go, and then that should be the capture point coming up in about 18 minutes, give or take a few. Everything proceeding pretty much according to the timeline, if not just slightly ahead, which of course is good news.
So Josh, looking at the graphic here, we can see the Cygnus coming into place. So it's come in from 30 meters, and it's on its way to 15 or to 10 meters. Okay, so 30 feet, and so you see it slowly inching closer, 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 and I'm looking at the view on the bottom left there, where you're seeing over the mouth of the end effector. You're looking at the camera view, and you see the gold sort of blob there on the bottom.
Yeah.
That is the actual grapple pin, which is about a foot or so long. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, the grapple fixture is about as big as, like, if you chopped me in half, that's how big the grapple fixture is. But right on top of it, the black line, that is the target that the camera is looking at. And you can see that it's gradually approaching the middle of the screen. If you look in the upper left, you're going to see the Cygnus is now looking at, like, it's right at the level of the robotic arm. And you see that same picture in some different views. These are graphics that are simulating what we are sure that the cameras are seeing on board. Now, unfortunately, we are not going to see the actual video right when they capture because we don't have that satellite in play. But we'll see a replay, right?
Well, hopefully, if the crew sends us some video. Yeah, that's we hate to be the bearers of bad news, but that is always how things work out. Sometimes we don't have video coverage. So if we don't, at the point that they do it, then we'll show you this view here, and we'll be able to confirm that it happens. But of course, we always like to see things, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
You know, so down here on the ground, you know, we see, so to speak, our vision is partly just using some math and some engineering. And so this graphic here is not just a cartoon, but it's actually based on data that we are getting from the Cygnus, data that we are getting from the space station about where the Cygnus is. We've got data on where the robotic arm is. As soon as those joints start to move, even though we don't have a visual picture, we have a data picture, and it's going to show the joints moving, the arm stretching out, and so you're going to understand. We transfer that into a visual picture so that we have a feel for what the arm looks like as well.
Houston Station on 2 in step 8 of 1.102. Capture conditions are confirmed, and the crew is ready for Cygnus capture.
Houston copies. Stand by for go for capture.
Standing by.
So even though we're about 15 minutes away, the team here is go for capture. Yeah, Flight Director Brian Smith here notifying the Orbital flight director that the station is ready to accept the vehicle. The crew is ready for their next steps.
Station Houston on 2. You are go for Cygnus capture sequence, step 4 and 1.110, the approach and monitoring and capture.
Copy that. Go for step 4 of 1.110.
So Josh, this is it. This is the actual capture. They've given them a go, and then it's just a question of how long it takes the crew to carefully go through their steps. And so they're putting the arm into mode. They're making sure that it's in the correct configuration. They're arming the end effector. You don't want that trigger to be hot, the whole time you're up in the cupola getting ready. You want it only to be hot right now. And so the ground is confirming that they're seeing the arm gradually get into the correct configuration for capture. And then we'll actually see, even though we've only got our graphic there, you will actually see what the arm is doing using this graphic, and it's going to come closer and closer and closer to our target there on the bottom left.
And right now the space station is exiting the eastern coast of Africa. Looks like its altitude about 260 miles. So capture should be taking place right over the Indian Ocean if everything goes according to plan.
When we captured the HTV, I was particularly proud of having us be right over New England. I felt personally responsible. So I'm here in hot trigger. That means that it's the end effector is exactly configured for those snares to circle around and snare that pin. It's a long pin with like a golf ball at the end. So the arm is over the pin, the snares lasso it, so to speak, and then because of the golf ball at the end, it can't get out of this snares, and then it pulls it in. It sounds quiet here, but around the room, everybody's monitoring their systems, and especially the attitude control system of the space station. Is the space station still? Is the Cygnus still? Is everything in the right configuration? The next command will be the crew will tell the Cygnus to go free drift. That means it can't fire any jets. Right now, it's actually keeping itself in a small box, a certain specific place, by firing jets kind of forward and aft.
You don't want it to do that whenever you go to gaps.
Exactly.
Capture, right?
We don't want it to be firing jets. We want it to be as still as it can be, and so it's just going to have whatever motion it had when we told it to be free drift.
So again, we're just monitoring the situation here as the crew gets ready to reach out and capture Cygnus. Mike Hopkins is going to be using the arm to capture this cargo vehicle that's arrived at the International Space Station. Capture should take place at about 5:13 a.m. Central Time. And if that goes according to plan, unfortunately we will not have live video of it, but we'll have some graphics we can show you of where the robotic arm is. This is actually generated at the robo console here in Mission Control. And that should give us good situational awareness of where the arm and the vehicle currently are.
And Josh, I think they'll be ahead. There's the Dulles control room. Folks are watching.
Yeah, they're...
Basically, their baby is in the crew's hands.
Yeah.
But I'm betting it'll be earlier than 5:13 because they're actually a considerable way through the checklist.
Good.
The next thing we'll hear is that they've achieved free drift.
Okay.
So you see that picture moving, and that's because the crew is actually moving their camera, and our graphic reflects those changes. And this is their orthogonal view, their view from the side, so they can see how far away they are from the target.
So the team are confirming that the arm is in motion, so they're starting the process of reach out toward it.
You can see the arm is approaching the Cygnus. And again, the camera is looking at that little black target, but the end effector itself is going to capture that larger grapple pin, the sort of gold circle with the target in the middle, down on the bottom.
The team reporting that the arm is about 3 or 4 meters away from Cygnus right now.
This is when I try not to think about the fact that they're both going 17,500 miles an hour. And so Koichi will be confirming to Mike, I see a good rate. You look like you're on track. Mike will be telling him, I'm going a little bit left. I'm pitching. I'm doing this. They're talking to each other. So they've sent the free drift command to the Cygnus, and that means the Cygnus will not fire any jets. They're not allowed to approach any closer than this until that free drift command has been executed, so we're on track. So now you can see the black target is getting bigger there, and the pin is getting bigger. Our graphic might not be perfect in terms of what the pin looks like. It probably looks a little bit more exact to the crew.
Half meter away.
So just 10, 20 seconds away from capture. So they're over the pin. The canister is on top of the grapple fixture, waiting to lasso those snares.
We're just standing by for a capture confirmation coming up here shortly. And at 5:08 a.m. Central Time, that is capture confirmed of Cygnus and the Orbital 1 flights. The Expedition 38 crew has successfully captured this cargo vehicle. Of course, great news for the Orbital Sciences team up in Dulles, Virginia. Their vehicle has been successfully captured by the crew on board the International Space Station on this first official flight for this company providing cargo to the ISS. The two vehicles were flying just to the northeast of Madagascar over the Indian Ocean. Again, capture confirmed at 5:08 a.m. Central Time.
There's
And the team there at Orbital Sciences celebrating the successful capture of their vehicle. Again, 5:08 a.m. Central Time. Cygnus has arrived at the station.
sigh of relief
Yeah.
for Orbital, relief for the crew. I mean, it's a big deal to do this.